Hello, hello, hello. It's Chris again.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. You've reached the Nocturnal feeding with James. Bam. There he is. Hey guys, thanks for coming in and watching us. And what should we talk about first, James?
Well, I think that we should probably talk to our guest.
Oh, we have a guest?
I think we do. I think playing some games here. Let's bring him in.
What?
Hey, Chris.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Welcome, buddy.
Doing great.
Oh Lord, echo.
Chris is joining us tonight to hang out.
Bob's saying echo.
Ooh.
I don't hear an echo.
We had one at the very beginning, but I think we're good now.
Okay.
Well, hello everybody. Thank you for having me.
You bet. Thanks for coming. But before we get into anything, let's talk about our special project we're doing, James.
You want to talk about the contest?
Yes, our contest.
All right. I will let you take that over. Just a quick forerunner on that. As Rack was talking about, we've got this community movement that's going on right now. Basically, it's just about growing and strengthening the community through our love of live bears. Hashtag Project Posilia. Ed had this wonderful idea, and I absolutely love it. It's kind of an offshoot of that if you want to get involved with that aspect of it. And it is a contest involving Posilia. So I'm going to turn it over to Ed, let him explain that. I think you all are going to like this a lot.
Yep, and for all you guys that don't know, that's live bearers. So that includes your guppies, your mollies, swordtails, mollies, platies, what else? Anything that's a live bear is counted. But what we're going to do is we're going to give out 5 different awards for our competition, because I thought it'd be kind of fun to really get the people into it, not just to look at the stuff, but actually have it brought up. So we got a great group of people, and that's the one thing I didn't write down was the great group of people that are helping us out. James is helping, and Rack is helping, the Zen Ginger, the Guppy Guru, Lefty.
Yeah, Lefty 3213A.
Yep, and gosh, who am I missing?
Am
I missing anyone?
I think you got everybody. That's kind of behind the scenes, the team right there that has been working on this. Me, not so much working on it, but the others. I mean, huge shout out to River Life and Ed, Lefty 3213A. Yeah, 3213A, Guppy Guru, and the Zen Ginger. They have been making amazing things possible.
Oh, and who's making our certificates?
DPK Aquariums made the certificates. Yes.
They look super cool. And I don't know if we'll get any type of sponsors for any of the competitions. There's going to be 5 classes, but DPK made awesome certificates that we'll be mailing out, which are super cool. And I'm going to go over the 5 categories and then tell you the one that got eliminated that I wanted, and I'll explain why. But the first one is Best Picture. This one highlights the beauty in said species that you can use text on those photos. You can Photoshop your photos. It just has to be your fish. So you can't take Jimmy's beautiful fish or somebody else's fish, and pop it in there and then say, wow, and count it as yours. It's got to be your fish, but you can do any type of highlighting or drawing or whatever you want, photoshopping to your fish. So that's class number 1, or category number 1, best photo. Then we're going to have best video. This is a video, basically the exact same as what I just said, but a video of 3 minutes or less. So you can video your guppies just scooting along for 10 seconds. That would count. You could have a molly drop and fry. That would be, pretty cool. Might be cool having, no, never mind. I won't go there. But there's a whole lot of cool stuff that could, you could videotape that, which would be awesome. I was about to say fish trying to eat the fry, but that'd be sad. Okay. Third, is Best Art Piece. So this show, this shows the creative, artistic side that you may or may not have, but you can use it in painting, any art form or art media. So we've got suggestions, painting, artistic expression, and you can make it a craft. Oh, you can make it music, poetry, etc. Wow. So not just materials, but literally any form of live bear. So if you've got a dance that you want the show for the life of a guppy, you can videotape that and it will be submitted. And the people that I mentioned that were working on this, those 5 people are the judges for all these categories. And now the 4th category is the River Life Best Project Basilia Post. Rack will choose from the most creative post that inspirates more people to keep these lovely fish. And it can be any of the entries of the top 3. So Rack, I guess he's going to kind of sponsor this one. He's going to choose if it's the best photo, best video, the best poem. He likes poems, so good chance it's there. And then the 5th one is Best in Show, which could be something that's already won. I don't like to pick something that's already won because I like lots of winners, but I'm only one judge. So it can be anything from the top 3. So kind of like there's a Best of Show and a Rack's Best of Show. So those are your 5 categories. And then there was a 6th one that I wanted, but we couldn't do it. And I wanted to add the Fry category, and that would be any kid under the age of 13. But because of stupid laws and whatnot, we had to keep the kids out. So it's an adult-only thing. And I think I didn't write this down, but I think the competition is for 21 or older, or did we find out if we could go 18 or older?
I don't know if we found out or not. I would look at the chat to consult Zen Ginger possibly on that.
Yeah, I was reading
on the spot, but
yeah, we were debating if we could do 18 or older, or if we have to go 21. But it's going to be kind of the stupid rules of competition through YouTube. So, and James, where can they post this stuff?
So they can post this stuff on the Facebook page. Let me get this right here. We're going to share that. And I'm sure the Ginger is itching for the link to drop there, but here's what we've got going. We've got a Facebook page for it. We are asking if you want to enter the contest, you use the hashtag Posilia entry, just because that way we can have people in the community that just want to be a part of the Project Posilia. You know, they can do that wherever they want to on any platform using that hashtag. For the contest specifically, you're going to be going on to the Facebook page and putting Posilia entry. That way we know you specifically are wanting put into the contest, because we are doing the 1 entry per category, I think is what we all ended up agreeing on.
Yes.
So
people
that way
can only do 3 entries, and it has to be 1 per. So it's like your best photo, your best video, and your best form of art.
Yeah. So that way you've got, you know, wonderful people like Lefty 32138, for example, who's posting, you know, a ton of hashtag Project Posilia on Instagram. That way there's no confusion as to, you know, people thinking he's entering all those into this contest. It is a part of Project Posilia, but it is kind of an offshoot. It's its own separate thing within the movement, if you will. But I'm sure that the link is already in the chat. Let me get my chat back. But we do have this fancy smancy page here that I didn't have part in making. It was, so don't credit me with any of the work, but the Zen Ginger and Lefty and Guppy Guru, they did an amazing job.
They have been. They've been amazing. Oh, I guess there's 6 judges because there's those 3, you, Rack, and I. So
Yes.
there's six judges. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. And unfortunately, the 6 of us can't compete, right?
Yes.
Well, we could submit. We could submit. We're just not allowed to have it. And the cat wants in. Oh, I'm not going to get the cat. It can just sit at the door. But yeah, so it'll be a lot of fun. I hope we get a lot of people doing things, and it should be good.
I think it's going to be a blast. As much fun as we've had with the hashtag Project Posilia. I mean, there's so many people that have already gotten involved with that, and it's been phenomenal because that's what it's all about is the community. Big J, I know, has gotten involved with it. He's done some posting. Of course, like I mentioned, Lefty1213A, 3213A, Guppy Guru, I believe HC Aqua did as well. Bob Kaler's Aquatics. Chris, I think you did, if I'm not mistaken, or did you? The list is getting long. There are a lot of people that are getting involved with it, and I just think it's phenomenal.
Yep.
I don't want to hijack, but I'll talk more about it later. Basically, I've got the opposite experience of Rack, where Rack got involved from the beginning with guppies. I've just now recently come to guppies after many, many years of fish keeping with other fish, but I won't digress into that at the moment. This gentleman below us here, he's got, of course, experience with Project Posilia and guppies, up to the point that he's actually started his own store and is even selling some guppies right now.
Yes.
So I'm going to turn it over to Ed. We'll be happy to continue answering questions in the chat about the Posilia entry contest. And we will probably jump back to talking about it a little bit more after we talk with Chris a little bit. So, Chris, why don't you tell us what you've got going on over there? You've got some neat things going.
Well, yeah, with the website, I was doing the aquarium art, as you guys are well aware of that. And I made a website just for the art. And then I came to the realization that I was looking around my fish room, and I've got this reputation of South American and Central American cichlids, but I have 9 aquariums with guppies of some sort, either blue Moscows or Endler live bearers or just the fancy tail muck guppies, as many people like to call them. And I came to the realization I have way more guppies than I have anything else. So I figured, what the heck? I've got a ton of guppies, and I've got probably 100 cherry shrimp right now. There's 3 colonies going, so I've got lots of that. So I figured I'd throw it up on the webpage. So instead of it being fine art, just fine aquarium art, it is also fine aquarium art and livestock. So,
and this is homegrown livestock, so it's not. You're not getting this from Asia where it's been sitting in salt tanks, right?
Right. No, none of this stuff is. Matter of fact, the blue Moscows, I got 5 of them from Bentley Pascal May of last year. So everything that I have, with the exception of probably 5 of them, are bred in my fish room. All of the guppies, the Endler live bearers and the mutt guppies are all from my fish room, and I'm trying to do my own strain of guppies as well. So, and then the cherry shrimp, I got like 15 from a friend about 2 years ago, and yeah,
And then they go crazy.
Yeah, the original were probably long gone by now, but got tons of them, and I'm getting some new stuff in today. Today I ordered some rams. I can't remember if they were golden rams or German blue rams, but I ordered some rams, so I'll have rams on the website in about 2 weeks. So, because I want to get them in, and then I want to quarantine them and give them the trifecta of medications before I make them available for sale.
Rams are the one fish that I haven't gotten that I absolutely love. I love those little guys. The biggest thing that draws me away is that they have to be a warm tank.
Yeah.
But I have one strain of guppy that requires a warm tank. So I'm sure I could do some rams someday.
Well, they like that really high temperature, just like angels love that really high temperature. So you could always put them in with angelfish too.
Yep. I've got I lost one angel today. I've had angels for a long time. They came with me from St. Louis, and I think they're just starting to reach the end of their lifespan.
Oh, yeah?
They're just slowly going now. But I've had them for a long time, probably 5 to 7 years. So
Well, that's still good. I had one angel right about when my kids were in their preteens, but not quite teenagers. 8 to 10 years old. I had one angel that I had gotten from my parents. It was 7 years old when it passed away. We bawled like a bunch of schoolgirls when that fish died. It was terrible. We had a whole burial ceremony and everything in the back because we had a little creek that ran through our property, and we gave it a burial at sea basically, and let it just float down the creek.
That would have been cool if you would have put like some gasoline in it and shot little arrows with fire on towards it. That'd be, but retarded, but it's still fun.
A Viking burial to it.
I don't know. I watched some stupid show where they pushed the boat off and they kept missing. I don't know. It was some goofy
Game of Thrones.
Oh, was that on Game of Thrones? I thought it was a comedy thing.
Yeah, the son missed 3 times, and then his uncle took the bow and arrow from him, did one of the, and just walked away, and it hit it and went up in flames. Yeah, I remember that.
I think I was watching some goofy one too that made fun of it, but still, that's cool.
Yeah,
but that's awesome, Chris. When will you officially start selling the fish, or are you selling them?
I started selling fish on the 31st of April. So
the
website's been live since April 31st. So about 8 days.
Super cool.
Had lots of people look at it. Haven't had any sales yet, but I'm sure one will happen eventually.
Well, and honestly, that's part of why we've got you on here is the community aspect of Project Posilia. This was at one point your time slot. You were gracious enough to allow us to slide into it. And then, we want to help you out with what you're doing. So on top of it being, guppy related Project Posilia, it's community building related. So,
and if you need to buy some guppies, this is the guy to go to.
There you go.
Well, I tried to get the best possible pictures I can. I don't know if you guys have ever tried to take a picture of a guppy. It's a little blur, whatever it is. It's a little blur. So
yep.
I had to set my camera. I had to tinker with my camera until I finally got a setting where it was like 1/100th of a second. The shutter speed was like faster than a snap.
Yep.
So that it could catch that guppy without the fin being a huge blur. So,
but what's funny is the guppies aren't smart enough, I think, to know what a camera is, but the mollies have a little bit more awareness. And when they see that camera, I think they think it's a big eyeball. And I'll have like 300 mollies go as soon as I hold that camera up towards the tail. They're crazy scared of that thing.
I'll share my 2 favorite tips for trying to take guppy pictures because I see a lot of people say the same thing, and I agree they're a pain in the butt to take pictures of. My 2 best tips that I can share are Sarah Onip tabs, the ones that stick on the glass for anybody that's not familiar with them. You can get them right around the tab, or when the little bitty bits of particulate start to fall off, you'll see them below it so the tab's not in the shot. And then Bob Kaler's got the other one. I like to take video, and you can do it at standard frames per second, or you can kick it up to 60 frames per second and then go back through and find that perfect frame or those perfect frames and pull the photo from the video. Almost cheating, if you will, that way, but it's makes it a lot easier to get a good shot versus taking 500 pictures trying to get that one.
I'll give you my tip. Take a breeder box.
The professional photographer. So
yeah. Take a breeder box, the hang on, what they put the bag in, and take one of those. And then I would put like a white cloth or white paper would be great. If you could get some poster board and just bend it upwards up against the wall. And then the guppies can't really go anywhere when they're in a little box this big. Like that, I don't see it. My little Chattanooga Ed symbol. Mm-hmm. I put that in a breeder or one of those specimen boxes.
Very nice.
If the guppies got nowhere to go, they just sit. Well, they might go back
Yeah.
and forth, but
Yeah.
they're not going to go very far.
Yeah,
Just-
when I populated this 55 next to me with the blue Moscows, I put one male and 3 females in there, and the 3 females went over to the far right corner of the 55 long, and the one male came over here to the far left corner. I was like, they're never going to breed if they don't ever see each other. And they just sat there for 3 days, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to scoop some more out and put them in there. And I just dipped the net, and you know how guppies are. You dip a net in, and they swim into it.
Yeah.
Well, and if it's a male guppy with a big tail that can't keep up with the girls, because the girls are quick and try to get away.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily want to breed. You can put them like in a 5-gallon tank, so the girls just can't get away.
Well,
And put
Another.
them in there, and they're going to get hit eventually.
This is kind
Always
of
going to get lucky. Smaller space.
stealing Ed's idea and using it with another idea that I know of and have used. You see a lot of people will take like the betta cups
yes.
and they'll hold the fish up there inside of it. If you paint it, and of course let the paint dry and cure and all that good stuff, just like you would anything else that's going in the tank, paint it black like Ed's talking about and hold it up there so you've not got your hand in the shot when you're doing it. So if you don't have one of those $10 or $13 specimen cups,
I'm going to have to give me one of
do
them.
that.
Or white.
Yeah.
I think white shows off the color better if it's a dark, and if it's a light one. So just either way. But yeah, that's
like
great.
Like a Moscow. Most Moscows have got like a black body with a colored caudal fin and anal and dorsal fin. So yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably go with the white one with your Moscows, your dark Moscows. But like James has got the really nice albino pewter ones, and that would look great with the black. So
Yeah.
There you go. Get 2 cups. Paint one black,
Yep.
one white. You got
Absolutely.
You're
them
set.
both covered.
Priscilla says, how many fish per cup? So Why Not in Wyoming did say, I've done room lights off, aquarium lights on. That's a good tip. I would encourage you to try flipping that sometime. I don't know about everybody's guppies. I would imagine it's the same, but I've noticed, like especially on my dark guppies that look black with the light directly above them, when I turn the lights off is when I really see the blues popping out. Like I've got some, I can't think of the strain, but it's a blue guppy from Mike at the fish tank barn. And the blue pops out even more when the aquarium light's off, but the room light is hitting it from the outside. So I would say give that a try and see what kind of colors you get.
And Priscilla, I'm pretty sure once I heard 2 fish, 1 cup. But I don't know. That just rings a bell in my head. I don't know. Just throwing it out there.
I haven't separated mine. I was thinking about separating the mutt guppies by gender, but then I looked at the tank and it's got like 150 guppies in it, and I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
That might take a couple hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. And part of the fun of it, the mutt guppies, is that they come pregnant in there. You never know what you're going to get. So
The
Absolutely.
finish is always different. I mean, sometimes you'll get finish that looks like it could be a Moscow of some sort, and then you get these things where they've got this weird, like, 2-forked caudal fin, and I like that. I think that looks really cool. So I've been trying to breed that into a specific line, so they always get it. But
talking about the tails, I just Peter from Mob Guppy is got a deal right now for his swordtails. They're swordtail guppies, and he's selling 5 males, 5 females for $65 with shipping and handling.
oh, with the shipping, that's not bad then.
Yeah, it's really cool. He's just got so many. So I ordered some from him, and he's got a couple others. Maybe he's already out. I don't know. But I ordered some of those, and I thought that I would put them in a tank for this challenge that Rachel's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that Chris and James have both already done that challenge. What's that challenge called?
Aquascape for scraps.
Yeah, I've seen a couple things. I've seen scaping from scraps. I've seen hashtag scrapscape. But Rachel O'Leary does have a playlist on her channel of everybody's videos that have done it as she's becoming aware of them. I think there are 24 or 25 on there earlier when I looked. That was fun. I will say from a filming perspective, that took all day, but it was fun. I had a blast doing it.
Yeah, mine took 2 days because I had to wait for silicone to dry.
Well, and I liked both of your guys' videos. I thought they were both good. And I've got a quick question for both of you guys, actually. Chris, you used foam for like your, like the backdrop and kind of in the middle.
Uh-huh.
What type of foam did you use? And then did you videotape making that foam?
I used the spray foam, that fills the gaps when insulating and stuff like that. And I had originally filmed that when I did it 6 months ago, but I don't have that video anymore.
Okay.
I've since changed computers. I went from my laptop to my desktop computer, and I couldn't get everything that I wanted off the laptop onto the desktop because the laptop started to die on me. So, yeah,
Turned out great. I don't know if anybody's posted a link to that, but I'm going to mention James's here in a second too. But it came out really cool. I thought it was neat. I'm going to have to try to play with some of that foam. I saw that Chris Palmer from Palmer, is it Palmer's Aquatics?
Yeah.
Okay. I like a lot of his DIY stuff, and he was using the black foam. I think he called it black pond foam.
Yeah, it's the same stuff. It's just it's made for ponds and pond liners.
But basically, it's the same stuff, just probably more expensive.
It's the same stuff. It's just it's dark colored so that it blends in with the pond liner better, and so that you don't notice it, because this stuff when it dries comes out sort of a whitish yellow or yellowish white, whatever way you want to say it. But it's really light colored. If I would have used that, it would have came out so much better. But
so you do recommend the black?
Yeah, if you can use the pond foam, I would definitely recommend the pond foam over the other foam.
I'm gonna have to try to see where I can get that.
One thing that I would recommend that I didn't do, and definitely recommend it no matter what, when you spray it, before you do anything to it, because most people will paint concrete onto it, and that'll be the background for the most part. Scrape it. Hit it with like a steel or copper brush. And
rough it up?
Yeah, rough it all up. Hit it with sandpaper. Doesn't matter. Just make sure it's something that roughs it up, because that concrete, when it dries, will just fall right off.
So you need some tooth to it.
Yeah.
Tooth is like when you paint on this is for the other people. When you're painting on like a canvas or something, we would say you wanted some tooth on there to be able to grab the paint. I used it a lot. I used to paint photos that I would take. And then I'd sepia tone them, which means I'd make them look like they were brown instead of the normal just black and white. And then I would add the dyes to it to make it look really old fashioned. And I would want a paper that had a lot of bump, and we'd call that tooth.
Yeah.
And basically, it's the same thing, is you want something for that to grip onto.
Yeah, that's why after the fact, even though I had some of the concrete on there and some of it, the concrete had fallen off, I covered the whole thing. I just smeared like a half a tube of silicone over the whole thing. My wife gave me one of these little cheapo kitchen gloves, and I just smeared concrete all over it, and then covered the whole thing, or not concrete, silicone, and then covered the whole thing of concrete or silicone with substrate, so that it looked like a gravel wall instead. So,
well, I think it came out really nice.
Well, it helps that it's not very well lit too.
Lighting's always a trick. Well, lighting's kind of what I was going to talk to James about.
Real quick before we get into that, if you don't mind, because Bob had made a comment, and I started to address it the first time, but he mentioned Doug Gray, who channel name is D Gray, but Doug Gray's got a wonderful video that Zen Ginger did find a link for and post. Thank you, because I'm actually running Ed's stream, even though it's on Ed's channel, and my laptop is not happy right now. So it was going really slow trying to pull his channel up. Thank you for posting the link, but it's about photographing your guppies. So thank you, Bob, for bringing that up. Thank you, Zen Ginger, for putting that link on there.
I did want to make one little comment. If you guys are interested more in doing like a paludarium or to do 3D backgrounds, Serpa Design is where I went to learn all of that. Tazawa Tanks did one not too long ago on just doing a 3D background for an aquarium. But if you want to be able to have plants growing above the water and all of that, Serpa Design is definitely the YouTube channel that you would want to go to find out.
Awesome.
He does lots of videos on it.
That's cool. And yeah, thanks. And Doug Gray is amazing too. So I'm going to have to check that out when we're done. But yeah, and James, if you ever see anything, because I'm not very good at paying attention to what's going on in chat, anytime you see anything good, just shout it out.
Absolutely.
But I got a question for you, for your tank.
Okay.
Now you used moss, and I don't, James just gave me some moss like a week ago when we hooked up with Bob and Roe. And so that moss I literally just threw in my Endlers tank, and it's just sitting there. I haven't figured out what to do with it.
Right.
Because right now my fish room, it's all like in a transition. I'm trying to escape everything and get it ready. I cut lids today. This is 18 tanks of lids.
Holy cow!
I'm jealous.
Yeah. That's just 18 of my 20s. And I also did the puffer tank today, and I've got to do some 10s tomorrow. So everything, it's going slow, and but I'm going to eventually get everything looking good. But I've got a question about the moss.
Yes, sir.
Now, when it's growing, because I've got this awesome tank that Bob gave me that's a round tank, and I had surprise moss growing in it, and it looks beautiful, but it's like getting huge. And I've got a huge Anubias that's going crazy good in there too, but it's like starting to drown out my Anubias.
Right.
Do you cut moss, pull it?
You can do either. If you have like a general base area and you want to specifically groom it back down to that base area, you can cut it. It's not going to hurt it like the Java moss. And then you can just take what you cut out of there, ball it together if you want. You could tie it together if you want. Set it in another tank where it's not in the way or it's not covering over those other plants. Or you can pull it. The way that I do mine, because I harvest everything out of a 20 long. Basically, it was one floating moss ball from Petco that completely engulfed a 20 long. Right now I've got about 50 portions by the time I get done splitting it out. I just pull it apart.
Oh my gosh!
So I don't know if I've got. So the other day I was making a couple of these, playing with it, but basically what I do is I repeat that process that they have because I find that it propagates really well. So let me drop it down into here. So I make my own floating moss balls out of it. I just take some really fine monofilament and just a little teeny cube of styrofoam and a piece of lava rock or whatever stone you want to use, and make my own floating moss balls. So.
Well, that's awesome. I had no idea that a moss ball you could just pull apart and hammer.
Yeah. But yeah, I just you can cut it. I've cut it before, but I find that when I pull it apart, I get kind of a better feel for the strands versus like cutting off just little teeny snippets of it. I can kind of get a good pull on it, so that I got a better feel on how much I'm really taking off and what was just kind of floating, that I cut this much off of a strand that was actually that long that needed to come out.
Well, you see, I have them in with American flagfish, all these plants, and I don't know. I think that American flagfish are like a secret fish that nobody knows about because they are amazing at eating the hair algae, and they're cute little fish. They're about that big. I ought to make a video on them because I absolutely love them now. I put them in my planted tank just to keep the hair algae, so I can keep pumping a lot of stuff in there.
Right.
I mean, everybody knows about the Florida flagfish, but the American flagfish, it stays about that big. And I just love those little guys. And so I think what they've done is there was beard algae in there, and they ate all that. They ate all the hair algae. So now the moss and the plants have just gone crazy. And it's super cool. And I mean, and they bed into it. The moss, they like to get right in there and go to sleep in it. It's pretty cool.
I need to give you some scuds.
What?
I need some scuds. So
see, I'd like to have studs just for food for my fish. But yeah, I mean, these little guys are just awesome. But I got another question. So you took that moss and then you glued it to a rock.
Now that moss was the moss ball. That was a Marimo moss ball. So the moss that I gave you, the Java moss, which is what I had there, that's what I used on the stick. And basically for that part, I pulled off strands, and I get like maybe, that long of a clump of strands, and I wrapped it around the stick. Then after I got it wrapped all the way down, I went counterclockwise with some, I think like 4-pound monofilaments, really, really fine fishing line. You can use thread. I've seen people use thread before. I think that's what Joey the King of DIY used years ago when he did a video doing the same thing, and just wrapped it on there. The moss that I glued onto the rock was a Marimo moss ball, and that's when I had a lot of people ask me about. So I guess that's not quite as common, and I'll probably do a video on it. Let me see if I can do this without getting soaked. Getting my computer soaked, I guess, would be more important. So,
yeah, I mean, I don't want you to mess anything up.
I would end up doing this anyways. So for giggles and grins, we'll just go ahead and do it live. Basically what I did, a lot of times I'll take a razor blade and just kind of this is going to leak everywhere. So we'll squeeze some water out of it. That's okay. We didn't need that mouse. And usually I'll find if the moss ball hasn't been turned enough, I'll try and find that brown spot you get from not turning it enough. And just get a little slice in there. Safety warning, don't cut your fingers. Use one with the handle. All that disclaimer stuff I need to say. But once I get an opening, I just kind of take and kind of peel it. And you'll get a feel for when you get on the inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you just kind of, like, see, it's opened up kind of, but it's more of a, I don't know. I don't want to say mushroom.
If you cut a tadpole in half, it's hollow. Is that thing kind of hollow?
Kind of, yeah. It doesn't connect in the center, so to speak. But it doesn't really have a giant pocket inside. Which
it's probably just because it can't grow because it's not getting light in the middle.
You can kind of just keep working it out into a flat mat. You can take and use different shapes, pull off whatever pieces you want to. But that's how I made the moss mat for the rock. And then I just super glued it. And when I super glued it, I kind of came along the edges as well and butted them up to each other. That way it would give it a solid look.
Well, thank you for doing that for us. That was super cool. I mean, and probably all you guys that watch can probably know all this stuff, but it's new to me.
Well, I've not done that on a video and had a lot of people ask me about it. And then a couple of people in the comments specifically. So I will do a video about that. I'm going to do a video about a couple different ways you can use plants in a different than normal way to aquascape. I'm not an aquascaper by any means, but I tend to come up with weird ideas, I guess, because I'm not.
Well, and now you see, this is where it leads to me. I've got to sculpt a tank. And I've been buying rock for the last several months and saving rock and finding it and buying plants and growing plants and cultivating them. So I would have it all for all my tanks. And I don't know if that would kind of take away from the spirit of the competition if I use the stuff I was already planning to use, escape. So I don't know if I should try to make a tank out of things that I find in my backyard.
Well,
Or
the spirit of the competition is just basically to have fun aquascaping a tank from the stuff you've got laying around your fish room or around your house. I
I literally have
for instance, you've used those rocks, so they count. Her thing was if you go, you can't go over, grab a box that you bought a heater out of and pull the heater out and that be in the spirit of the contest. She's like, if it's sitting on the floor or it's an empty tank on the other side of the room that's been sitting in the closet. I mean, here's a rock. It came out of that tank a month ago. So I don't have a use for it right now. I mean, I got rocks.
Okay.
So
I'm going to show you the tank I'm going to use because this tank is not in the plans for my fish room. It's right here.
So while Ed's gone, I'm going to address the chat because I have been seeing it, Bob. And it's not that we're ignoring the chat. I just don't want to jump in the middle of his sentences.
yeah.
But we did have Maria Z mention pull half and put it in another tank when we were referencing the moss earlier. Hold on just a second, and I'm going to get caught up on chat. He ran away with it. No.
I'll use the slate bottom antique tank. I've got to
That would definitely fall into the scrap and has been used category for sure.
All right. Then I've got a place to start. That's cool.
But
Sorry about that.
James was addressing the chat.
Yeah, I'm going to go through and address the chat because it's been killing me too. I've been sitting here watching it. We don't want people rioting, but I've kind of been, since we are on your channel, letting you run the show, so to speak. But like I mentioned, I don't know if you heard me, Maria Z was talking with your moss earlier, just pull half of it and put it in another tank. And we've got a link for Rose Aquatics for Java moss. Just Shrimp Granny said, I changed about 60% of the water in my 65 tonight with 5-gallon buckets and refilled it with 2-gallon buckets. That sounds horrible. I'm sorry that you had to do that all manually. Bob at Keller's Aquatics mentioned that it was your dollar that won that tank, referenced earlier, the round one. So he felt it was yours.
Well, I appreciate it. And I've made a video on that tank, but I need to get one of your stickers. And every time I see Bob, we talk about the stickers until we see each other, and then we're having too much fun talking about everything else, and I never get a sticker. And I want to use the sticker for like the thumbnail startup.
Right. Don Cervantes.
Can I interrupt for just a second?
Yeah, go for it.
Say thank you to Don for being my first customer ordering fish on the website. So
Thank you very much.
you,
It was actually
I will get those out this weekend.
It was his comment I was going to address. He had asked regarding a discount on the multi-tank addiction site, to which Chris replied, yes, use code ED10, ED10 at checkout for 10% off your order. Why not in Wyoming?
Until Monday morning. So
all right.
Through the weekend.
Good deal. And then again, referencing the Java moss from earlier, why not in Wyoming? Said easy to propagate, hand roll back up like Play-Doh. Yeah, it kind of will stick to itself when you roll it back up. Some people get finicky and they don't like any loose strands, so you put a little piece of string around it, but you can just hand roll it. Let's see here. I know Priscilla had mentioned somewhere that the Merrill moss ball is actually an algae. Yes, it is. It's not technically a moss, but people don't order Merrill algae balls, so I just call it by what people are familiar to. Yeah, why not Wyoming says plus good to squeeze them out once in a while, helps them breathe and grow faster. I'm assuming that was when we got to talking about the Merrill moss balls of algae, and that's absolutely right. Along with keeping them rolled so they don't get that brown spot. So when you do your water change, just smack it around so that it's not sitting in the same spot all the time. Let me see if I can get. Okay. I'm sure there's.
And, James, like from the beginning, I've always said I want us to be like a DJ team. So I don't want you to think that I have control of everything. I just want it to always be the same old fun stream. So whenever you see something, you just holler it out, man.
Absolutely. I hate to interrupt. So we're the three of us are a very talkative bunch. So once one of us gets going, it's hard to find a breath between the three of us.
Yes, I'll agree with that completely. I'm sitting here going, I need to shut up now. I need to shut up now.
Well,
so
while you're doing,
Brad says, and this is in reference to, I would imagine, Rachel O'Leary and the rules for the escape from scraps or scrap escape or whichever hashtag it's going by at the moment. Mr. Fisher says, she said on another video, anything as long as you don't buy it by ordering or going out to get supplies.
Yeah, you see, I have a massive amount of supplies, but I think I'm going to have fun, and I might, if I can't find any rocks in my backyard, I mean, I basically live on the side of a mountain. I should be able to find some rocks. But if I can't, I'm going to go down by the stream and get some rocks. And I'm going to make it an all Tennessee tank.
That sounds like a great idea.
I think that'll be very cool. So if I did miss anything, my apologies. If you have a specific question and you want to highlight it by typing @FishroomFever, since Ed doesn't have his glasses, he doesn't have to try and squint at the chat. And Chris is a guest. I will continue monitoring the chat.
That's awesome.
We'll be happy to address any questions, comments, concerns that you may have.
And here's another thing from James's video that made me think was he was talking about his lighting on his tank. Because he had a 5-gallon tank, and I think he ended up having to use a 10-gallon light, light it. And I bought 6 of these about 4 or 5 months ago. I'm going to show you what it is.
I'm going to highlight you, Ed.
Yep. Okay. For my fish tanks, I've got like lights to go over my 20-gallon tanks on my shelving, but I've got 10s that are long wise. So I wanted to test out a little light that would go over the 10 gallons. And I used Pam's rice fish as my guinea pig for one of these, and it has worked wonderful. It screws onto the side of the tank.
Yes.
And then it's got the gooseneck, so you can move it any way you want. You can do just the blue light, so if you want to grow algae like crazy at night, you can. I don't know why people do blue light. Maybe it's cool if you have a party or something. But and the standard light for every, normal stuff. But James, you can go back to normal. But it's a neat little light.
I will never go back to normal.
You know what? Can you show the link?
Yeah. I think Ginger's got
I got it off of Amazon. I think it was $16 a piece for 6 of these, but they really work. I have 3 different types of plants I'm testing it on. I've got it on dwarf sage, and it's been growing fine. Anubias has been growing great, and I've got it on some Amazon sword, and it's not doing super great, but the sword is the farthest over from the neck, so I don't know if maybe it's just not getting quite enough light. So I'm going to take that out. But otherwise, this little light for $16 is great. And James has got, before we started, I asked James to get a little link to it. And then if you want to order one, you can get it.
Full legal disclosure, it is an Amazon affiliate link. So as Michael at Michael's Fish Room would say, if you click it, I make millions of dollars.
Millions.
Yeah. So James would make millions of cents. Millions of percentages of cents.
Percentages of a cent.
Let's throw some more decimal points on there. Okay, so there's the link.
Yeah, I would not recommend. There's 2 sizes you can get. You can also get the 7-inch. I got the 10.5, and I tell you, it's not huge. So I would spend the extra. I can't see.
It's
How much?
$13.99 versus $16.99.
I would spend the $3 extra for the extra 3 inches. It's definitely worth it.
Oh, the
I mean,
chat's gonna go nuts on that one. Priscilla's in.
More than likely, it'll just be Priscilla and the Zen Ginger.
Oh, I also took some photos today of my deck. If anybody wants to see those, and last night everybody kept talking about that in Pam's channel, and I didn't even know you guys knew I was building a deck on the side of my house. So, just throwing that out there. But what else were we talking about?
Real quick, I want to say a huge thank you to everybody. We've got 51 people watching. 43 people have hit the thumbs up button. I really appreciate that. Both of these guys have been huge supporters of mine. Ed has been with me, from the beginning, every step of the way. He's really helped me build my channel, build the brand. So I appreciate you all supporting him now that we've moved over to his channel. Thank you very, very much for that.
And Ed has been a huge supporter of me as well. My only stream is with Ed, so we're partners in crime, and I've got to thank you for that and you for that.
Well, it's my pleasure. I enjoy doing it. I'm here to make friends and have friends and enjoy all you guys and enjoy all the people in the chat. And I've been terrible. I haven't been reading what you guys have been saying. I normally read more when I don't have to talk quite as much.
You're the host, so
yeah,
you don't have the opportunity to sit here and look at the chat because you're focusing on getting the story through. So, no, That's what we're here for. We can look at the chat and co-host for you for sure. So.
Moonstone says, Chattanooga Ed, I got a set like that on a Petco setup, and half the row has gone out. I'll be buying my lights in individual racks like that from now on. You see lots of jokes and comments regarding jokes.
So wait, she doesn't like that light.
I think the one that she got, she was saying the one that came with her Petco set, one of the rows had gone out on it. Bob, I didn't see yours. I see where you're saying I didn't see yours. But I'm not seeing it anywhere, and I've gone all the way back up to the last thing that you said that I missed. But
are you in live chat?
I am in live chat, and I even looked in the StreamYard chat. Now I have to go back down and find it.
River Life said, Ed, we need to build your channel. I thought he was saying something about, Ed, good job on building your deck.
There we go. Caleb says, oh, yeah, absolutely. Thank you, brother. I did the ad and it wasn't seen. Agree with you with all you said, James. With 50 people engaged, you have to stop and interrupt. If Ed can't see the chat, who will? Love you guys and eager for success. Thank you very much, Bob Kaler. Another awesome guy. He is the one that actually got me connected with Chattanooga Ed. He's the one that brought me into the fish tuber, fish fam, if you will, Bob Kaler. Can't thank him enough for that. I know he regrets it every day of his life now. He's like, oh, God, what have I done?
And you know what? Have we told Rack about our shirts that I want to do as soon as this quarantine goes that way?
I don't know if you've mentioned the bowling shirts to Rack or not.
Well, Rack is here. I think he's still here. I am planning to make Tennessee Fish Mafia shirts for us. And they're going to be like bowling shirts. And Bob's already claimed the name The Codfather, which I absolutely love. And it suits him well. And James has got some pretty good kind of like Hitman type names for fish.
It's either going to be Jimmy the Nose in reference to the bristlenose pleco or the python, something to do with the python. I'm not sure just yet. But I'm really
I think you're going to go clown knife.
Maybe, but I'm kind of Zane keeps pushing me towards Jimmy the Nose because me being James and the bristle nose. Real quick, I do want to address. Bob mentioned it was at Chattanooga Ed. If anybody in the chat adds Chattanooga Ed, he's probably not going to see it. One, he's not got his glasses on, and a lot of times he's also not in the YouTube chat.
Yeah, so, I'm not in YouTube chat. I'm in StreamYard.
So if sorry, Bob. I try and catch those. but I don't always catch them. If you absolutely positively want it to be mentioned for sure, at Fisher and Fever will definitely get it highlighted on my screen. And there we go. Zen Ginger mentioned the Codfather Bob Kaler's channel. Thank you very much for that, Zen. Moonstone says at Fisher and Fever, Kenny has 2 of my tees from you, and my sister has the pink hoodie. We will be ordering more. Kim, thank you very, very much. I'm going to message you after this stream is over. I was working on the store today, so before you buy anything, let me know, because there are some pricing adjustments and some other discounts that are going into effect that we won't talk about on here. We'll talk about them on the Monday stream on my channel. So we're not taking up Ed's channel with it. But before you order anything else, shoot me a message. I'll make sure you get taken care of.
Okay, I am going to use up a little bit of the time because I was planning on ordering something on there too tonight.
Okay, so basically what I've gone through and done is, in order to give the members the merchandise discount, I was going to change the prices around anyways. They were basically introductory prices, if you will, that had absolutely zero profit to them. Like the hashtag 46 cents, as Fish Tropic likes to say. I was making 46 cents off of them because that wasn't the point, and it's still not really the point. But in order to give the members that special value, if you will, I guess is the best way to put it, I'm adding a bunch of new merchandise, some new designs, some cooler designs that aren't just logoed things. And so there will be some different prices on there. But I want to make sure that anybody that's a member that needs that discount code that falls under that category, and I'm still playing with that whole thing. We may throw that out the water and, put a different perk on there. I don't know just yet. Still playing with it. It's brand new. But that's why I mentioned get with me first so we can figure it out. Like, I made one category earlier and I got to price the one item, but because I selected to put that same thing on like 7 different things to give 7 different options, it auto priced the other stuff. And some of it was like $12 profit. And I'm not trying to do like $12 profit on a t-shirt. That's ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't want you going in there and going, oh my God, he wants, I don't even know what it would be, like $36 for a t-shirt. I don't. So that's why I'm saying, before you order, shoot me a message, either on Facebook Messenger, Fishroom Fever, or you can email me, fishroomfever@gmail.com. And I'll make sure that we get it sorted on whatever you're going to order, because I don't want anybody going on there. And as much as I appreciate the support, I don't want you paying, $30, $40 for a t-shirt.
Okay. Yeah. I need to order a shirt. I was going to order a tank top for Haley tonight. Mm-hmm. And I ordered something from Diego at Petzotics for Lucas for being on our video show. And so whenever that comes in, I'm going to put those two together. I'm sending them to Haley, and then she'll give it to Lucas.
Excuse me. Very, very cool.
Yep. And Diego's awesome. Gave us, I think, 25% off or something. So that's super cool. Or 20%. I don't know. It's nice to get a percentage off. It's really cool. And he's got a great website. He does.
He really, really does. And for anybody that didn't see it, I actually had a massive order of fish food come in from Diego at Petzotics. If you want to check it out, because it was a lot of fish food. I think it's like 40 bottles and bags and jars of different fish food. It was a box like that. That was on the Monday live stream. So we did a live unboxing because it happened to show up. So.
Now, is that live stream? Do you have that so you can, for people that missed it, can watch it?
I can get a link for it if Zen doesn't beat me to it, which she probably will.
Well, it doesn't matter because I'm not going to click it and watch it now.
Right.
But, I didn't see it. I'm sorry. I was probably
okay. No worries. It was the first Monday that I've actually gotten into that scheduled slot. I was going to start the week before, but we were having an awesome time with you and Bob and Roe and myself that previous Monday doing the fish stores. So that's why I didn't start the week I had intended to.
Well, hopefully someday you'll get more than one day off and we'll be able to go and have more fun.
Very soon. More details to come, but after the first week of June, I will definitely have more than one day off.
That's awesome.
So we're going to get together on some projects that we've been having to put off.
That is super cool. And Hey, also, Diego is like the coolest name. I didn't tell him that, but it's like, that is the coolest name. I think if I had a new kitten or something, a boy kitten, I'd name it Diego because that's such a cool sounding name. He's the only Diego I've ever met. Just throwing that out there.
Me too.
Okay. Isn't that
And he's a
cool?
really cool guy too. So
He is.
Oh, yeah. Super cool guy. But, I don't know if anybody's noticed. I'm wearing my
I was gonna bring that up for you, but I forgot. I'm sorry.
t-shirt.
Yeah,
I
I
got
gave
a
him
bunch-
a hard time when he's like, "Hey, Chris, check this out," and I'm like, "Oh, you suck."
That was funny. Yep.
I
But
would love to have a flip
well,
shirt.
Rob was on Chris's stream actually about a month ago. I told him that I was looking forward to ordering some shrimp from him, and he gave me his phone number and let me text him all my information. And so my water's almost perfect to what his water is, which is crazy cool, except my GH is a little low. So he sent me a free thing of this shrimp salt with GH plus and KH. So my KH is about the same as his. So hopefully it doesn't mess that up somehow, but I'm going to try this. And then I bought 2 of his starting like beginner packs on his website. And when you go there, there are multiple prices, but basically it's the cost of if you bought the shrimp, bought 10 of his shrimp, he gives you a few extra free stuff things.
Very nice.
You don't get a shirt for free. He did that just because he's super nice. But you get one of these Flugel telescoping shrimp
I love
nets.
those.
Oh, he got some more nets in. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he did. That he said that was one of the reasons why we were hoping that I could open the shrimp on his or on Chris's live stream, and he didn't have the nets, but he got his nets. And how cool is that? So
So cute.
yeah, and I got 2 of these. So one of them will be nothing but a guppy grass, or not a guppy grass, a
Duckweed.
duckweed catcher.
Yeah, that's why I like mine. Precision duckweed removal.
Yep. And then
This is my
He-
duckweed net.
he also gave nice big one. My problem is if I use a net that big in my guppy tanks, I'm going to be catching too much fry.
Oh, that's good.
So I use a big net like that on a big tank, but I have to worry about it the little ones. But he also sent me 2 big packages of those. Is it almond leaves?
Yeah, and then almond leaves,
Almond
top
leaves.
leaves.
Yeah, that was in there. He sent me a little thing of like a little food thing that you can measure out the food, and I think he may have thrown that in as a perk. I don't know if that was really because it wasn't in the list of things, so I think he may have gave that to me as a perk. But then he gave me 6 little packets of food that's supposed to last me 6 months, and they're samples of North Fin Community, North Fin Veggie, and Bug Bite. Bug Bite shrimp pellets, I guess.
That's cool.
Oh, what's Bob saying here? Did I miss something? Almost forgot what it.
That was
Yeah. Can you
that's
read
why
it?
he pulled it up on the screen.
Yeah,
I think, so it can't be missed.
I got you, Ed.
Okay.
Caters Aquatic says, I almost forgot when Ed was talking at the start about the 5 categories. He mentioned sponsors. I said I could sponsor, but not sure he saw it.
No.
I can guarantee he did not see it. I saw it, but
You can't even see this.
I digressed so far before I got to the point of talking that I had forgotten by the time that I got to there.
I'm sorry, Bob.
Yeah.
But that's
Bob,
awesome.
I appreciate it. We'll have to get Bob Kaler in the little behind the scenes group. I would ask, I try not to ask the moderators to do much work and let them do work of their own free will and volition. But if somebody wouldn't care to post the links for Zen Ginger, Guppy Guru, Lefty 3213A, of course, River Life, Rack, and I feel like I'm forgetting somebody now. We'll get Bob Kaler.
Guppy Guru, Lefty, Zen Ginger, you, me, and Rack. We're the
Yeah,
five.
so we got everybody. So yeah, you and I, everybody knows who we are. Well, not, if they're in
And
here,
then
they know who we are. Because
I think if you sponsor it, you should be able to have a vote also. I mean, I'm saying it out of turn. I should probably talk to the other 6 people, but unless we end up with like a million sponsors,
wouldn't that be awesome though?
it would be.
I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn saying this, but there has been some discussion regarding this being an annual thing every May. I think that would be very, very cool. There's also been some discussion as to doing some sort of bi-monthly thing where it's not guppies every 2 months, but doing some sort of species or thing of that nature that we can get the community involved with.
And I want it to be the same species every year. So like if we would skip June and hit July, and I'm just going to throw a species out there that beta comes off the top of my head. Maybe we do betas or betas, however you want to say it. But, so, and then maybe a goldfish in the fall or winter, so but we would always keep, July would always be dedicated to that fish. And so we're always going to have our live bearers now. And then, I think it'd just be kind of fun.
Oh yeah. A couple great things in the chat. Why Not in Wyoming said, love using almond leaves, and then followed up with, I mostly medicate using almond leaves and salt. Actually, it is amazing the beneficial effects of not just almond leaves, but tannins in general. My piranha tank, of course, they do a lot of nipping. Sometimes they get really big bites out of them from time to time. I don't pull them. I don't medicate them. The water is extremely tannined. I have not had any issues, knock on wood, with any infections. Everybody's always healed up perfectly fine to where you can't hardly tell that there was a giant gap missing out of their head before. So yeah, there are definitely some wonderful benefits to botanicals in terms of health of the fish.
Hey guys, I hate to say this, but I gotta get
You're
going.
getting sleepy. Absolutely, buddy. I appreciate
I've been up for 17 hours, so.
Oh, that's all. No.
Yeah,
Chris,
well, thank you, Chris, for coming on.
No, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Again, thank you everybody for just checking out the website at all. I really appreciate you guys, all the help you guys offer. And
absolutely. And then you've got promo code ED10, ED10 for 10% off your order through Monday morning. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's set till Monday. So
awesome.
All righty.
Thank you again, brother. I hope you have a great night.
Yeah, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow because I need to talk to you guys about some other stuff.
Okay.
So
sounds good, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye now.
Bye, buddy.
But so I would like to donate if we can get a Chattanooga Ed design before June. I think it'd be cool to I'd give out a Chattanooga Ed t-shirt.
Absolutely. I just need a higher quality graphic than what we had before, because when I try and blow it up, it pixelates and is deemed low quality by the site.
Well, and I've kind of got some ideas on how to change it up a little too. I want to put guppies on the back of the t-shirt, but I was thinking about doing it with a red beard around it.
That would be
or lettered in a red beard, just a goatee. So yeah, I've got some ideas still. And then I also want to make some bandanas, but I don't think I want to go through Teespring because you can get bandanas done really affordable. And then maybe I just make like 200 up. I used to do it with my UAW. We would have bandanas every so often made up just to give away like on Labor Day or picnics and stuff.
Yeah. But you can get all sorts of things. Bob Kaler did say he did not want to vote, but thank you.
Oh, okay.
And then Rack, the River Life, said discussion has included a fall shutdown Posilia swap. Yeah. I think Rack and I have discussed some things in terms of passing some guppies back and forth, some different things we can have some fun with. I know Ed and I have talked about some guppy swaps. I'm sure we can get Bob Kaler's Aquatics involved in some things. He's got some really nice strains going, so I may have to, up my game and bring my A game to that that swap, if you will, to try and talk him out of some things.
And this is my dream. Would be they have the Deep South IFGA Guppy Show in Murfreesboro, and I don't want to say a bunch of old grumpy people that run the show, but they're kind of grumpy people that don't want to talk to anybody. But it's like they put it out there so everybody knows about the show. So there's all these young people are coming, that have never had fish, and they're like, well, we just wanted to do something this weekend, so we thought we'd look at these guppies. And all the people in the club just sat there like this and didn't talk to any of them. So I was explaining to people what they were looking at because they didn't have a clue. I mean, There were people asking me if they were saltwater. So I think it would be awesome if I think James is going to try to enter with me, but I would love it if Bob could enter a couple because he's got some sweet ones, and maybe we can get Rack to do some. And if we showed up and were nice to people, it'd be so much fun. I love just talking to new people about the hobby because it's so much fun and a good time. And I just felt sorry for all those people that were coming in not knowing anything and asking questions, and they were just looked at like they shouldn't ask questions. It's so much. So I was like there jabbering away, but then those grumps were coming over and talking to me. So they were explaining some of the stuff to me for me to explain to the people, which was cool because there's a lot I don't know. And so they were like warming up to me, I guess, but maybe they just were afraid of new people. I don't know.
Absolutely. Sorry. Big J's one that's also in the hashtag Project Pocelia says, I've got lots of guppies in tubs. And then where was it? I think it was Just Shrimp Granny was asking what's happening in June. Yeah, says what's happening in June. Sorry, I was distracted. Basically, that the contest will end at the end of May. It's going to be hashtag Pocelia entry if you want to get entered in that contest. I won't go back through all the details of it. If Ed would like to, he's more than welcome to. But he's got the details in front of him and I do not. But basically, it's kind of an offshoot contest that was brought together. Ed came up with the idea, and we've had wonderful people like Rack from the River Life, Guppy Guru, Lefty 3213A, the Zen Ginger. Bob Kaler's getting involved behind the scenes as well, offering to sponsor it also. It's going to be awesome, and the further that it goes, the more we have people chipping in on the back end of it. So I don't know what the prizes are going to look like at the end of this thing by the time we get done, because every time we turn around somebody, and DPK Aquariums, he created some really gorgeous certificates for it.
And they are gorgeous. I don't know if we should show them yet. I don't know. I think we should keep it quiet.
I think maybe we should. Maybe we could do that toward the end of it, possibly. Hype people up, or we could just wait till the very end. But there's just so many people that are contributing on the back end of it at this point, and it's just now getting started. It's just officially opening as of tonight for entries into that. Of course, Project Pocelia being just the community movement, trying to strengthen and grow our community through our love of live bearers. We've got people like Rack at the River Life who mentioned, he started out with guppies. I'm coming on the back end years into the aquarium hobby, never having kept guppies before until, I don't know, I got into them a couple months back with the muck guppies. I really got involved with them after getting some from Mike at the Fish Tank Barn when we met at the Big Fish Deal in Maryland. And I've just totally fallen in love with them. But went years and years without ever having a guppy. It's like, why would I want a guppy? I want a real fish, but just never really appreciated them. But I'm just kind of sad that I missed out on all those years of guppy keeping now that I'm really getting into them.
Now, I'm going to go over the rules one more time. For Fishkeeper Coley just showed up. We have 3 major categories. We have photos, and you can it's got to be your photo, so you have to click the camera. But you can dress it up any way you want. So you can put like Batman, pow, symbols. Well, he's probably so young he doesn't even know what the PAL symbols are. But whatever, symbols all over it. You can enhance it. You can do black and white. You can do whatever you want with it. We're also going to do a video. So you can make a video of your library. You can talk, put it to music. If you put it to music that's copyright, we can't play it on YouTube. But I don't know if we can play it on Facebook. I don't know. Stick to the free music that's already on YouTube. You can talk. You can do whatever you want with your video. It's got to be 3 minutes or less. And then we're doing a form of art. So any media form of art. So you can paint, draw, do pottery, paper mache, dance, poem, sing. Anything about libraries, you can do it. If you want to dress up like a librarian, that would be under that category. So those are your 3 categories. We're going to do the best of show. So there will be a 5th one. And then there's going to be a river life one that gives people the inspiration to keep the hobby alive. So Rack gets total choice of that category. Now, Fishkeeper Cole, there's stupid rules on YouTube which says that we can't have contests for people that aren't adults. And I'm pretty sure you're 17 or 16, but your mom can enter your name for you and know that it's you. But it's got to be, unfortunately, through a parent's name. Because I wanted to do a younger generation one and we couldn't do it. So I'm sorry, man. That's the only hang up. So you got to go through
the legal basis.
Yeah, we got to go through a legal deal and go parents. I guess I should also say this. We're opening it to the whole world with the certificates. We don't, with people, if they're donating things, we may not be able to send it to South Africa because it might cost $200 to send it to, so we may have to keep it. I don't know. I guess we're going to have to talk about that.
Yeah.
So, but the certificates can be anywhere. We can't guarantee the prizes because we don't know the prizes. And that's just something I just thought up just now that we didn't talk.
We do have, and I think that we've got it worked out to where we can ship just about anywhere. Okay. But some of the prizes,
we have a master trophy.
Yeah. So,
and we will send the master trophy anywhere. If I pay $200,
yes. If you win the master trophy, and the other stuff's small enough, I think it should be fine to send for the most part.
Yeah. I mean, if somebody would
work it out,
say they're donating a 200-gallon fish tank to a category.
Yeah, that would be something. It'd be like, hey, we can't ship a massive fish tank. But yeah, everything that we have in mind for prizes at this point, we can ship to wherever, as far as I'm aware of, which is part of why we don't have any like live fish or anything like that. At one point, there was talk of having live fish as a prize, or even a small complete aquarium set up. But then we looked at, well, what if the winner's in another country? You can't ship them the fish, and it would be really more than likely expensive to try and ship a full aquarium kit to another country. But we may work on some other things down the road. And like Ed mentioned, we're doing lots of guppy swapping around, planned for upcoming future. So that may be something where we can get into where we couldn't offer guppies as a prize, maybe swapping some guppies around.
Yeah, this is just our first time, so bear with the wrinkles. Kind of like my goofy idea with the trivia night. We had lots of wrinkles that night. But I've had a lot of people ask to do the trivia night again, James.
Yeah, and Sean Peck mentioned on his live stream that he'd like to come on and do the trivia night. Oh,
awesome. Okay, so awesome. Well, then we'll try to get somebody head up against it. Maybe we'll have to do it on OBS. We've got to do it on a program that everybody can work. But or be able to listen, because it was a bummer having poor James not being
Hey,
able to.
it was all right. I just ride on the fish tank and get
It
a
was so
strike.
bizarre because Haley and Lucas were upside down for me the whole time. When I saw them, their heads were at the bottom of the screen instead of face up like normal. It was so bizarre. But I think it's just been StreamYards have been overworked, and
Yeah,
uh,
they've
YouTube.
specifically got a warning that there may be technical difficulties due to the overwhelming amount of people online because of the current health crisis, in shortened terms. But River Life saying I have a guppy bias. Somebody asked about there being art as a prize. River Life confirming yes, there will definitely be art as a prize. We've got a trophy being worked up. We've got some certificates. Who knows? We may even get into some gift certificates, possibly. Stuff like that may depend upon country. We'd hate to send you a gift certificate for somewhere that doesn't ship to the country you're in. But it just seems to be an ever expanding group of prizes at this point.
I was just about to say, hey, Tampa Tom, I don't know. We were kind of surprised with Chris coming on tonight, and so we had fun with that, but I don't know if we ever said hi to everybody.
I don't think we got to.
Everybody.
Normally, that's how I like to start it, but I think we got a little. And it was kind of a last minute Chris coming on thing. It all just kind of popped up together, so it kind of threw that off. And the same thing. I apologize. I love saying hi to everybody when I first come in because this is, our hangout time, if you will.
Yeah, we got Shrimp Granny's here too. Man, I love seeing her coming back and feeling good with us and hanging out with us. That's awesome.
If you don't mind, buddy, while you've got your glasses on, I'm going to step away for just a second because it's right at 80 degrees in here, and I need to step out for just a second.
Cheaper. Okay. Yeah, well, thank you everybody for showing up. It's great to see everybody. And I noticed that Fishkeeper Cole, he was asking some questions and that's why I put my glasses on, and now I'm trying to find what questions he was asking. I see one thing that he says, he liked the fish trivia. That was cool. We got to see if Priscilla knows any trivia. See if she'd want to do it. There are so many fun people that we could do trivia with too. I would like to do it all the time. I got the idea every time I see my mom, she's watching the Game Show Network, and it's like I'll sit down with her, and I love doing all that stuff. I used to be on a traveling trivia team. That sounds more impressive than it really was. It was just a group of us guys that all got together, and we would find out wherever they were doing these. I don't need this. Wherever they were doing a trivia competition to raise money for some kid with cancer or retiring nuns, anything, we would show up and we would try to compete in those. And I used to love them. They were so much fun. And since I moved to Tennessee, I don't know if they do the trivia competitions. And if they do, I know Bob. I'm sure Bob knows a lot of other people. Maybe we could put a team together someday. But it was my idea to try to do a game show, a fish game show. And it was a blast, except for all the technical difficulties. But I can say that my team beat Lucas and James on the first one ever. That was pretty awesome. And Catfish Terry's here. He is a super guy. He's like one of our, I don't want to say that he's not a normal part of the fish fam. He's one of our adopted cousins into the fish fam. He's a big fisherman, but he loves fish. He's got fish in the name, and he's a great guy. So I say go check him out, and you'll meet a lot of awesome people if you go to his channel. And he's also from Tennessee. He's like 2 hours north of me. When we do the meetup in Murfreesboro for the Deep South Guppy convention, we'll have to get him to come by and say hi and eat lunch with us or something. He'd probably know the best barbecue places. I'm not going to lie. I could use some fish food. Whoops, fish food. So you could consider some high quality fish food. Oh, I think I don't know if Fishkeeper Cole, if you're talking about fish food as a prize, or you would like suggestions on good fish food to feed your. Let us know what type of fish you have. I like omega-1. I feed that's my flake, my go-to flake for my guppies. You want a high protein for your guppies. I also do frozen Daphnia once a week for them. I do bloodworms once a week, and I do frozen brine shrimp once a week. So every other day they're getting frozen food. I don't want to give them too much because guppies will get this thing. It's called being chesty. Your male guppy, you don't want them to get like fat under their face. And I mean, if you don't compete with them and you like fat fish, it's totally cool. But I want to be able to try to compete with my guppies, so I don't want them chesty. So I don't want to, they don't have a gut. It gets real skinny, so their gut is right under their chin, and they get fat right there for the boys. So the frozen foods will make them grow pretty, but it'll also make them fat. So I don't know if that answered any of your questions about good, high quality food. And I'm sure, like Bob is the king of different types of food, so I bet you he could recommend all sorts of stuff. But Bob likes fat fish. He likes his fish happy.
So he did come back and comment in regards to a prize, but I don't. I assume there's regulations on shipping fish food out of country. Candy would probably do that for sure, given that she helps with Aquarium Co-op, and she would know what they can and can't ship, like even to Canada. But I did want to say, Priscilla sent me a message, Priscilla MK Art. Sorry, I've been putting my phone on silent just so it doesn't interrupt the live streams. So I'm just now seeing this. But Priscilla said, if you want to add a drawing 4x6 of their favorite live bearer to the grand winner, that's my sponsorship to contribute. So very, very awesome. And thank you very much.
That is super cool.
Yeah. And again, this is what the whole Project Facility is about. It's about community. And I think Rack phrased it extremely wonderfully earlier in his stream when he was talking about, this is not a, hey, bring money to this cash register for this person and let's raise money type of thing for this type, for a person or individual or anything like it's just about community and spreading our knowledge and just, having a good time with it.
We love work or, raising money for different charities or people or, whatever, but this is just about fun, and it shouldn't cost anybody anything except for their time.
Right.
And then anybody that would want to sponsor or help. And it's just going to go to having fun, and that's something that we need in our communities right now. And we can't do it because of the thing going on outside. Well, I can say it. I'm not monetized, the sickness. So, just for fun. And Chappie, you should tell a story about fish. That would be awesome.
Candy, thank you very much for confirming. Candy Overhaul says permits are necessary to ship food out of country. I was kind of thinking that. I appreciate you confirming that. Jesse at HC Aqua had asked, how do we enter the contest? So for anybody that missed the beginning of the stream, I'll get the page pulled up. I'm sure somebody will drop the link in the chat. So what you're going to do is go on the Facebook page that we have created, and by we, I mean I was simply in the group that did all the work. I was not the heavy lifter. You can thank people like Ed, the River Life, the Zen Ginger, Lefty 3213A, and Guppy Guru for doing the heavy lifting on it. But you will go to the Facebook page, and you will post on there with the hashtag Posilia entry. Just because we don't want to cloud the Project Posilia with the contest and vice versa. Because, we've got a lot of people that are doing a lot of wonderful content posting on all platforms. with the hashtag Project Posilia, and we want to keep that going. But we want people to be able to post their entries and make it very clear that they are in fact entering into the contest. So if you go to the Facebook page, I think my laptop's going to catch up here in a second. There we go. Let's share that. If you'll go on there and create a post with whatever it is that you're wanting to submit, your picture, your video, your, the art or the song or the Bob's guppy twerk that he said he's going to submit for the artistic portion of it.
That's awesome, Bob.
Go on there, upload it with hashtag Posilia entry. And that way we know that you're specifically wanting to enter into the contest, because we still want to keep getting all these wonderful pictures and videos and clips and highlights. Like Mike at the Fish Tank Barn did a wonderful everything you need to know about guppies, basically, YouTube video the other day. And it had more information in there that I wasn't even aware of. Not that I'm an expert by any means on guppies, but it had some great information and kind of history behind them and whatnot. Right down to, like where the names came from. But if you want to enter specifically into the contest, go on the Facebook page. When you post, use hashtag Posilia entry, and that will get you entered into the contest. And there's kind of a look at the page that was created. And we are
a pretty good photo of a guppy.
Yeah, we are officially starting that as of tonight. That is live. That is open now. Entries are being accepted. That will run through the end of May, at which point we will do the judging. And I do believe that Rack at the River Life is going to announce the winners on his channel, just so we can kind of bring this month of May Project Posilia full circle. It started with Rack. We're going to bring it back to him, just to keep with that community aspect of it. There we go.
I need to get my eyes checked, because it's like I'm farsighted. I can't see anything close. But as soon as I take my glasses off, now everything's blurry. But if I put them on here, everything's blurry. It's like, it's killing me. But one thing I want to tell Fish Keeper Cole, that one video you did where you hiked out in the wilderness and cooked some food with a pan and stuff. I loved that video. You need to do more fun stuff like that. It made me remember my youth and how much fun it was to be young and able to go do fun stuff like that. I really do appreciate that. But now Cheppy was asking, is this my channel or am I driving or something? Or I don't know what he was saying here. Is that still on right? Okay. James is like my producer because I'm not very technical savvy. So what I have done is he pushes the buttons while I do the talking.
Yes.
if that's what Cheppy was asking. And yes, and actually I do have new eyes. I had surgery about 10 years ago, and I used to be legally blind. And I had my eyes buffed, and now I have better than, well, I don't know, better, but 20/20 vision from far away. I can see distance great now, but my close-up vision is still pretty rotten. But it's pretty nice to be able to see 5 feet away and clear. It's just this 2-foot stuff is terrible.
Okay. Bob has started a trend. We've now got Jesse at HC Aqua saying, I've never twerked in my life, but what if that's a category? I mean, I guess that would fall under interpretive dance. So that would be that freestyle category that was discussed for the arts and crafts and songs and poems and such. So you get my live chat back up here.
And Priscilla, I saw Priscilla, she said something that she's not going to compete in any of the competitions. You can compete and just say you're not going to participate or you don't want to win, because I'm going to, compete, and I plan on trying to put something in all 3 categories. Even though I know I'm not going to win, it's still going to be fun.
Right. Yeah. I
And
don't.
Jess said something like she would like to help, but she's not good at art. But if you get some live bears, you can take a photo of them. Or if you don't, you can go to your local pet store and shoot them in their tanks.
So we've got Fishkeeper Cole asking, says, I bet I missed this, but we can get as many entries in as possible, right? Question mark. I'll let you address that, Ed.
Yep. That is one of the rules. You can only enter one thing per category. So you get to enter your best photo, your best video, and your best twerk or dance or whatever.
Or poem or artwork, arts and crafts. Basically, freestyle category is the best way I can think to describe it. And then there are going to be some, I guess you could say, subcategories picked from those three, if you will, like Rack picking the one that's the most, brings the most inspiration to the community. So, yeah, absolutely. You get the 3 entries total, 1 per category.
Yep. Fishkeeper Cole also said that there's lots of chula wood around him. Basically, I guess that's cactus skeletons. I think the main trick to that is make sure it's all dried out, because it'll get sticky if you don't.
Absolutely. Also, check your local laws for what you can and cannot collect in terms of cholla wood. Most places you're fine to. Some places it just depends on the land, who owns the land, what you're collecting, how much you're collecting. So check your local laws if applicable.
Lefty, I would like to get some of that teddy bear cholla. It's like it looks like a log like that. It's so cool, but I've only seen it once, and I didn't get it the one time I saw it.
So,
and then, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Lefty3213A says, I'm getting the rules typed up now to post on the Facebook page at Fisherman Fever. Thank you very much, Lefty. Now that the site is officially open, we can go ahead and get those listed.
Jess just said, can the video be a rap? And I started rapping in my head. Hey, I'm Fish Granny, and I can participate in any way. I not forget it. It rhymed in my head. I totally had lyrics in my head that rhymed, and then I started to say it, and it didn't work. Okay, I'm not going to ever rap again.
Chappie asked about a beard competition, to which Pam responded that she would win.
Poor Pam.
I think Pam would probably beat me. I don't know. It'd be tough for her to take on Big J in a beard competition.
I was just about to say Big J might have it nailed down.
Yeah. But let me see. I think, okay. Fishkeeper Cole says pronounce Choya, and yeah, I know how to collect and what I can. I read up on it. Chattanooga Ed, if you want teddy bear, I'll get you teddy bear, Ed.
Oh, wow. That'd be cool. That'd be so cool. I would love to try to get that, and I would put it in one of my big shrimp tank. Well, not a big, but a 20-gallon shrimp tank. That'd be super cool.
Jess says that's just your warm-up, Ed. You'll get there.
Yeah. I used to have a football rap that I used to do, and when I was in 5th grade, I played football, and that was the year that the Super Bowl champs were the Bears, and they did Super Bowl Shuffle. And so all of us kids had a stupid little rap, and then from there, I grew it every year. It was more of a joke. I've always been kind of a dorky comedian guy. And I don't even want to say comedian, just dorky guy.
Hey, he's a fun guy to be stuck in the car with for 7 hours on the way to a fish convention. I'll tell you that.
I'm just goofy. That's all. I would never try to actually write jokes or anything like that.
There we go. All right. I think we're caught up. Let me get my live chat back up. So, now that we are at the bottom, for sure, I don't think we've missed anything, but if you do have something specifically that you would like answered or discussed, feel free to type at Fisher & Fever so it highlights. We'll be happy to grab that question, comment, or concern out of the chat. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Even though not actually competing in it, sorry, one of my snowballs is actually out, and I don't get to see them very often. It kind of surprised me. I think this is going to be awesome. Hello, Big Tank Hank. Glad to have you in here. It's so much fun, and even the contest aside, it's been so great to see everybody that's getting involved with the hashtag Project Posilia. Um, I, I can't even think of all the names at this point, and I hate to leave anybody out, but I know there are a lot of amazing creators that are getting involved on Instagram as well as Facebook and YouTube. I've been trying to get those shared out as much as I possibly can without spamming my channel members. So I've been only trying to do one community post per day because I feel like that just lessens the importance of it, if you will, if I share 5 videos on my community page every day. But I am trying to share out as much as I possibly can in as many places as I possibly can when I see those hashtag Project Posilia posts and videos.
Yep. And the other big or not a competition, but challenge right now is the Rachel O'Leary's. Yep. What's it called? Not the junk escape.
Escaping from scraps, or hashtag Scrapscape.
Yep. And she will take your video and she puts it somewhere where you can see everybody's videos, which is pretty neat.
She's got a playlist on her channel that she is adding them to as she becomes aware of them.
Now,
if you give her a day or two, she's asked that you tag her on Instagram if you do make a video for her challenge, and then when she finds it, she'll get that video and add it to the playlist.
Is there a deadline? Is this all month or for 2 weeks or?
She didn't really have a set deadline on it.
Okay. Well, maybe tomorrow I'll have to buy some silicone and I will get this thing going. I think you have to let the silicone sit for like 2 days before you can even put water in. But maybe I could gather some junk and get it ready. Yeah. I know I have sand, so it was kind of cool. When I bought this house, it had 3 sheds in the backyard, and one of the sheds had like 4 bags of sand in it. So,
Kim at Moonstone asking, is it 1 a.m. where you are, guys? It's 10 here on the West Coast. Yes, it is 1:13. We're going to go for about another 18 minutes or so. We'll wrap it up. We're sticking with the 2-hour platform still. We're just moving it forward an hour, where Multi-Tank Addiction is no longer streaming on Thursday nights. And I don't know if Big J is going to go tonight after we get done or not. I do know it looks like YouTube's saying we've still got 47 people watching. We've got 57 thumbs up for Chattanooga Ed. How about that? Mm-hmm. Awesome. I appreciate you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, because we also, this guy is going to need watch time. I looked at his watch time because Ed's already disclosed it. I have access to his thing so I can run the stream, but I think he's only got like 300 hours of watch time. So you're going to see a lot more streaming on the Chattanooga Ed channel, and he's hopefully doing videos soon.
Yeah, that's what I was telling James and Chris beforehand was I've got so many videos on my phone. I ran out of space today. I was doing the box opening, and it stopped because I couldn't put any more stuff on it. So I think it's really time that I start putting some of it on YouTube just to get it out. But I was really trying to save stuff back for once I'm able to start streaming from my fish room. My problem is, I showed you my deck photos. We're working on the deck. I keep doing all these other things. I need to get my stupid, I bought the Ethernet line to go to my fish room. Now I just need to get it hooked in there. I think I could do a straight line into my computer, but I'm actually going to get a second little computer because I bought a little camera system that has 6 little cameras that can go to different fish tanks, but I'm not for sure how to run it into my computer without the volume going out. James and I tested it, not live, but we just do like this without everybody on. And it kept muting my computer. So I thought I would buy like a $200 cheapy little computer that can just run the internet. And then I'll be able to do that and be able to show my fish. So that means I need to figure out a modem or I don't know, a modem. Is that what it is, James? Or a thing that broadcasts the signal in the room?
I'll be honest, I was working on something on your channel and I didn't hear half of what you said. Not gonna lie.
I
But
need
real quick, I will say goodnight to Kim Moonstone. She's headed out. I hope you have a wonderful night, Kim. I appreciate you hanging out with us.
yes, Night Moonstone and Brad, Mr. Fish, sir. You
Brad,
know,
have a
he's
wonderful
already
night.
saw logs. But okay, so I don't want to do a direct line into this computer that we're looking at because I need to be able to show. I want to be able to go to other fish things. So I want to be able to get a broadcast system thing so the whole room has internet. What's that called?
I mean, you can use a
router.
modem or a router. Yeah.
Okay, so I wish the fish nerds, or not the fish nerds, the geeks, the Best Buy geeks were working right now because then I could just ask them. I'm actually doing a bad thing. I'm having the cable guys come out on Monday. I scheduled an appointment for them to look at my cable because it gets like messy every so often. But I'm going to pick his brain a whole bunch about the internet, which is kind of a double bonus. But I also plan on doing just goofy little day streams once I get my fish room done, where I'm going to paint models. And I'm not a super model painter. I'm not like Sean Peck or Sharpie, but I enjoy painting them. I'm a really good modder. And like I used to win awards for my mods when I made models. And it's kind of a weird thing in the model world. A model, like you see it always looks the same. Well, I can add things to the mods or make them do different things. And I always got tons of points for that. So I'll mod my stuff and then paint it. I'm going to pay for the license to have music playing on in the background because I like to listen to music. So I'll have music. If anybody wants to talk to me, it'd be great. I love to talk to people while I'm painting. So,
can I say one thing real quick? I just want to say Dragon Lair, though I may be ignoring Ed, even though I'm not looking up there, I am still paying attention to the chat.
Oh, it's cool to ignore me. I'm probably just jabbering.
And I know I have your trust, faith, and permission, so I'm making a couple of adjustments that have been bugging me in terms of your moderator list.
Oh, that's fine. I don't care. Well, I shouldn't say that. I appreciate all my mods, whoever they are. But I don't know what I was saying. Oh, but that's something that I plan on doing is just my name's Chattanooga Ed. I don't have to do just fish. I can just do whatever I want. And so sometimes I'm going to paint. I'm putting in a poker table in my fish room, and I plan on playing games. And maybe I can get Bob and James and some other guys, and we'll play some games live on the poker table. Doesn't have to be poker, it can be anything. Oh, I bet you Sean Peck would love to play some games. Oh.
So I want to clarify real quick because you're catching heck for whoever they are.
Ed, who are they?
Ed does not, and this is not being mean to Ed. Ed doesn't know how to do that stuff. He said that himself. So basically, I had a list of names, and there were people like Candy and Bob that just didn't want to bother with them at the time. So without their kind of approval, if you will, didn't want to just throw them in there. Too bad, Bob. I gave you a wrench too.
I feel horrible.
They do, and I'm the same way. But then you get the back half of it's like you feel bad that they don't, and then they catch crap because they don't have a wrench, and people are used to seeing them with a wrench.
Oh, well, I mean, if they want a wrench, it's cool. But like Zen Ginger, she does it everywhere, and I feel terrible. But she's like connected to James the Hip on his channel. So James said, you got to ask Zen. It's like, well, all right, I don't care. I don't want anybody to be pressured to have to do anything. So even though I know on Rack's channel,
so it's like,
yeah, I noticed on Rack's channel, I was a mod on his channel, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm the worst mod in the world. I'm just good at saying hi to people.
That's why I like to tell people that it's an honorary Oh Lord, I've lost what I was going to say. It's an honorary title. Don't feel obligated to use it. But if you want to, you can. If not, consider it a badge of honor. So,
Jess Shrimp Granny made me a mod on her channel, and I try really hard to do a good job for Jess. So I actually post links and everything for Jess.
yes,
because it was really cool that she asked me when she was looking for people.
Sin Ginger said, I'm James as a micromanager, and I contact Shy, which is Miss Fever, if he doesn't listen. So, yeah. Zen has been instrumental, along with Chattanooga Ed, in the building of the Fisher and Fever brand, if you will, the family. Very much appreciate both of them. So she's kind of the behind the scenes, if you will. And now I get to help Ed and be his behind the scenes tech guy and get his streams running and stuff. We're going to get him some different backgrounds going for his stuff. And I still plan on hijacking your channel at some point and uploading a video of my own on it.
Oh, that's fine. But Jess, I try super hard for you, but I wouldn't want to do it all the time because it's hard. It is. But still, I love doing it for Jess because it was really cool that she asked me. But I couldn't do it all the time. But I don't know. Oh, and if Shy wants to be one, I don't care. Or is she one? I don't.
I didn't make her one, no, but that's
okay. Well, I don't want anybody to feel like they have to do anything. And
I understand.
And I know Candy gets it all the time on the smaller channels. They say, "Oh, Candy, we don't want you to be our mod because we feel bad." And I'm in the exact same boat as all those other people. You know, she's always there doing it for everybody.
And that's exactly it. Like Bob mentioned, he'd already stepped down on a couple. And that was part of the reason that I didn't because I'm running the back end of Ed's YouTube, if you will, but that he wasn't put on there. But then you have, people like, make Bob a mod. He's got the links. And it's like, so it just kind of saves on the back and forth. If you just say, hey, you're a mod, don't use it, but you got the honorary badge. So
I'm sorry. I'm probably terrible about that because I'm always asking for links and stuff. I don't know. I don't think very straight when it comes to that stuff. I'm sorry.
But no, I just want to specify when he said whomever they are. He said that not because he doesn't care and appreciate the moderators. It's because he didn't actually set them up. He gave me a list of names and I went in and added them to his channel because that's the way I support Ed the best, is through helping him with the tech side of things.
Yep. And he's doing awesome. And thank you, Candy, for coming to a small little channel like me. I appreciate that. You're awesome. I don't know, and honestly, I don't know who's a mod or not because I'm in StreamYard, so nobody's even.
Yeah, he doesn't even see who the moderator.
I just realized I don't have a clue. Let me go. I could log on to the channel. I guess I could give myself a thumbs up. Oh, I'm not going to because then I'll get an echo. I'll give myself a thumbs up afterwards.
I'll be honest. When I set your stream up, I gave you a thumbs up for yourself just to make sure it got done because I knew you wouldn't log into YouTube.
Yeah, I'm always terrified of the echo. Even though on the Here's a Tech thing, yesterday on Pam's channel, and Pam's got an awesome show every Wednesday night, which I think everybody here knows. But Cheppy showed Pam a trick where there's some button you can click and you can see the words from YouTube, but still be in StreamYard. So everything I'm seeing is also like at a 20-second delay. But, oh well, Cheppy will have to do it later.
I'm not sure exactly what you're referencing, to be honest.
I don't know. I wish if I had some chapstick, I would do a Cheppy
with the Burt's Bees.
Birds and bees. Got to put on my birds and bees. My Burts and bees. Every time he does that, I say, got to put on my Burts and bees. Just like he does. Well, I don't know if it's just like he does, but I tried. In my head, it sounds like him. But I don't know what we're talking about anymore.
We've got 4 minutes left at this point. It's just kind of digressed. But the point of all that was appreciation. Everybody is very much appreciated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I popped the. See, that's what I do. I pop the chat out. I don't know if that's what Chappie had been talking about before. I missed that part. But I popped the YouTube chat out and I have it over my StreamYard. But I know that's
been
a
here?
whole other tech issue for you that we've still got to get fixed with your Firefox Google issues.
Has anybody seen Monica Lynn?
I have not. Hey, Papa Shrimp Aquatics.
She's one of my moderators, and I was supposed to tell her before I go live, and I didn't. So I apologize, Monica Lynn, if you're not here, and I didn't say anything. She's one of Danikin's moderators for Danikin, and I know she's in my time zone. And I think Danikin's one of my moderators too. I don't know for sure, but I appreciate it. I appreciate Danikin nevertheless. And I would like, is Danikin still here?
I believe so.
I was wondering, I was going to text him right after his wife found the floor wet to find out what happened to his fish tank. But I didn't ever text him and find out. So does anybody know, did he have a seal break on his mud skippers?
I do not. I don't know for sure. Bob Kaler's got a very good point, and it's something I'm going to talk about more on my channel on Monday. But Kaler's Aquatic says, one other point, when you get 1,300 subscribers, you interact with those people, and spending 8 hours modding for 30 other people is not going to let you take care of your channel. That's absolutely right. Bob is very much like myself and most of us that are in this group, because we've got a wonderful community here where we try and go back. Not just try, we do go back and interact with every single comment that's made on our videos and talk to people and show them appreciation for watching our videos. And it can be tough. I mean, I don't know how Candy does what she does, because she's like that times 10. It can be tough to try and do all of that while modding other channels and trying to make sure you show up for everybody's stream to moderate for them, plus getting to all of your subscribers. But just a reminder to everybody, Bob doesn't need this reminder, as most of us don't, but I just want to remind everybody that is a creator on here. Remember, that's not just a number. Yeah, that's phenomenal. We've got 42 watching and 60 likes, but remember, there's a person attached to each one of those numbers. It's not just, the number 1,300. That's 1,300 people or individuals that have decided you're worth taking time out of their day to enjoy what you're doing and interact with you. So if you're a creator, just remember there's a person attached to each one of those numbers.
Yep. Hey, Victor, thank you for showing up. And going back to Bob, I really like, I thought my phone was ringing. It's a train. Bob, I'm not a mod for Bob, and I'm so happy because I love Bob's streams and I have fun listening and watching, and it's always fun. And if I was a mod on his channel, I probably wouldn't get to enjoy it much at all.
Right. Yeah, I prefer, when I'm a mod, I try and be more serious. When I'm not a mod, I can goof around and say silly things, and people know that's just how I am, so they don't get offended by it. But I feel like when I'm a mod, I can't do that quite as much. I'm probably terrible because I love shouting out everybody's channels and different shows I watch, because I love watching people's YouTube channels and I want everybody to enjoy everybody. And so I'm probably terrible to my poor mods that have to try to shout everything out. And I apologize, folks. But Danikin did answer what happened. And you see, I'm also like 20 minutes behind y'all. Or not 20 minutes, 20 seconds at least. But he said that it was a filter that was leaking. So that's cool. That's a lot better than I think it's a 120 tank that his mud skippers are in. So, and you guys probably already read that like 30 seconds ago. But, oh well. Well, we have been going for right at 2 hours, 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 27 seconds. So we will hold true to that. If anybody else is going to stream, please let us know. We can get a link in the chat for you. because I know that a lot of people are used to the live streams running until 2:30 a.m. Eastern time, because that was when our old time slot ended. And Ed, I'm going to let you. I'm going to kick it off to you for the ending. So I'm going to tell everybody now, thank you. Keep your fish healthy, keep yourselves healthy, and catch yourself a little fish room fever.
For sure. And I appreciate you, James. I appreciate my mods, every single one of you. And I will find out who y'all are. I'll replay it and read everything that everybody's saying. And I do apologize that I didn't catch everything. I will try to do better next time. I get a little carried away. I have a lot of fun, and I enjoy talking to everybody and just telling you my experiences. But just keep it cool. I'll see y'all, I guess, what time's our stream on Saturday?
Saturday is 7:30 p.m. We shifted to 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time so that we can make sure we don't overlap the Aussies that come on at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, and do we have a person that we're interviewing?
I don't know that we do at this point, but I will say go check Rack out, River Life in the morning. Should be 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. You may or may not see Ed or myself on that stream. Either way, Rack's going to be there, and it's going to be a blast.
Oh, for sure. And Rack is an awesome guy. One of my Tennessee buddies. We got a great community in Tennessee. We're so lucky. And, well, thank you all for showing up, and I hope you all have a wonderful night. See you in the next stream.